Middleweight battle went down between Jack Hammerfall, 15-5 of the Corporation, and Ronaldo. The Masquerade Silva, 24-12 of the Steel Pen Alliance. Can I get a what? Though both men have stand-up skill, the assumption was that this fight was going into the ground battle, and for those who guessed that, they were absolutely correct. After trading stand-up technique, Fall took the fight to the ground and very aggressively looked to end the fight by way of submission. Silva kept calm and avoided allowing himself to be caught in any submission holds and controlled the action to the end of the round. The round was more of the same, with Fall scoring a takedown. However, Silva was able to slow the action enough to force the referee to stand both men up. Not long after that occurred, Silva was able to open up a cut over Fall's left eye using a very stiff right jab that caught Fall off guard. However, Fall stuck with his approach to the fight and again took the action to the ground. It seemed the judges favoured Silva for that round due to his effective striking and ability to avoid damage on the ground. In the final round, Fall knew he had to finish the fight or he could very well lose by decision, and his corner also told him to end the fight to make sure there were no possibilities of losing by decision. Silva aggressively took the fight to the ground, but it was Fall who used that aggression against Silva once on the ground. Fall played a bit of posum and allowed Silva to overcommit to trying to get a better position. Fall suddenly locked in a guillotine that was clinched in tightly and quickly. Silva knew that he was in trouble and did his best to escape, but it was too little too late and he was forced to tap out. Fall earned submission victory and Fight of the Night honours as well. He is back in the win column. Silva fails, no pun intended, but is back into the loss column after the fight, but will no doubt work diligently to overcome that. The final middleweight fight placed Glenn Carson, 24-13-1 of Legion of Doom, and mean mugging John Mulham, 24-19 of Finn Fighters. In the cage across from one another, the first was a stand-up war and the crowd very much enjoyed both men landing some hard shots and kept asking for more. Carson was able to get the better of the stand-up once he was able to lock Mulham into a very tight and effective clinch. Though Mulham's defence kept him from taking serious damage, the second round began with the clinch dance that began in the first again. Carson a bit more effective than Mulham here was. Mulham finally got out of the clinch near the end of the round and shot Carson's spine with a strong right head kick that cut Carson above the left eye and shook him just a bit. Mulham opted to go back into the clinch after the snapping head kick, which was a bit odd, but he took no damage, so it wasn't bad. Going into the final round, one would assume that Mulham would do his best to keep the fight at striking distance, but he allowed Mulham to get into a clinch again, and it proved costly. Carson was able to score effective strikes and gather his senses, and both of those factors worked against Mulham. After some time, Mulham was able to break the clinch, but at the point Carson had energy and confidence. He needed to go toe-to-toe with Mulham and get the better of him. Right before the bell rang, Carson rocked Mulham with a 1-2 punch combination that dazed Mulham and scored the final necessary points that helped. Carson earned the unanimous decision. Carson snapped a 2-fight losing streak, so he's feeling good about himself and the recent struggles. Mulham has now lost his last 2 fights in a row, and I'm sure his management team will do their best to help him turn his recent struggles around. Moving into the welterweight division fights on the card, the action began by pitting Matthias Gracie, 22-12 of International Coxmen, and Donkey Style aka Bandoke Donkey, 39-2 of the Broken Halo Pride in the cage. Key was a punching machine early in this fight, punishing Gracie with painful flurry of punches, especially uppercuts and crosses that really sent the message and let Gracie know that punching with Key was going to be hell. Gracie got the message loud and clear, went to work on Key's legs with fast, accurate and strong kicks, which allowed Gracie to gather himself from the early onslaught. Once Gracie settled in, he began to land some punches of his own, and became obvious that he was comfortable, his fighting experience taking over quickly. After both warriors traded offensive and defensive techniques, Gracie changed the course of the round by taking Key to the ground and attempting to make him submit. Key was able to avoid tapping out, but Gracie controlled the action on the ground and getting the nod from the judges on their scorecards. The second round began as another stand-up war, which neither combatant really had any advantage in and saw it. So Gracie again took the fight to the ground. This time Key was able to slow things down enough to where the referee stood the fighters up. But shortly after, Key wasn't able to keep Gracie from taking the fight to the ground again. Key was able to once again force another ref stand up, but Gracie again took Key to the ground and finished the round there, scoring the vital points on the scorecards. Key's corner told him that he had to finish the fight to win because it was too close to call. Gracie was able to land some body shots, and in the culmination with multiple takedowns, it seemed Key ran out of energy. Once fatigued, Key was able to take the fight to the mat again, and Gracie, sensing Key's energy drain, went for a submission finish. It took 3 attempts, but Key had enough in the tank to fight Gracie off, but Gracie was just too relentless and finally locked in a triangle. Key knew he was in trouble and simply ran out of steam, had to tap out, giving Gracie the submission victory as well as a submission of the night honours. Gracie won his second fight in a row and may very well be a third if he wears up in distracting shirt that particularly nude young ladies on front of. Well, Donkey has now lost 2 fights in a row and is no doubt anxious to get his fortunes turned around quickly. The final welterweight battle of the evening transpired between Kunoto Sento Mitsuya Maeda, 15-8-1 of the Steel Pen Alliance. We represent even in the Far East, baby. And Indio Simon Malaya, 29, also of the Steel Pen Alliance. Again, the inter-alliance battles are cool with us because we are all familiar-oriented alliance. But I know Maeda will be giving Maela grief at the barbecue next time we're all together. But for sure, Maeda was extremely aggressive from the get-go, wanting to establish the tone of himself in the fight. Maela was able to land some occasional punch or kick, but the most part of the strikes came from Maeda. After he felt he slowed Maela just enough, Maeda took the fight to the ground. Maela was able to avoid any serious damage, plus control Maeda enough to force the referee to stand him up. But shortly after, Maeda took the fight right back down to the ground. Maela attempted to catch Maeda off guard with a last-second triangle, but Maeda was ready for it, and the time for the round ran out. In the second round, Maeda took the fight to the ground and kept it there. He wasn't able to punish Maela the way he wanted to, but he controlled the fight enough to gain advantage on the scorecards, which was definitely enough for that round. Maela's corner told him that he had to stop Maeda to win the fight, plain and simple. Maeda's corner told him to keep doing what he was doing, and he got the fight in the bag. Maeda took the fight to the ground early, but after some struggling for position by both men, Maela managed to get back to his feet and dared Maeda to stand and bang. Maeda followed suit, which his corner really didn't like too much, but he held his own despite Maela trying to drop him. Maeda finished the fight approximately by taking it to the ground one last time to finish it out and earn a unanimous decision victory. Maeda has now won 2 fights in a row and is currently awaiting an offer to be accepted for his next fight. Maela has a 3-fight win streak snapped, so he'll have to hear about that for a while as well. He can take it though, so I'm sure he's not worried about it.